So Pete Buttigieg is out. He don't want to be president this cycle. Who knew? Except for all the donors who I believe asked him to step down and let Biden carry forward the moderate or the establishment ticket. And the next to go would be Amy Klobuchar, obviously. I'm actually waiting for Mike Bloomberg to drop out. I don't know when he will do that, but personally, I think Mike Bloomberg is a greater threat to democracy than any of the other candidates because he is obviously shelling some of his change and buying all the ads and whatnot and buying Democratic Party altogether, which he literally said on the debate stage. So he's a greater threat. But at the same time, Joe Biden becoming a front runner will also is sort of threat because I'm sure Mike Bloomberg will direct all the money into Joe Biden's campaign once he drop out. So it may not make a huge difference, but at any given time, like Joe Biden is better than Bloomberg for sure. Uh, because he being a career politician, he would uh, be accountable in some sense and not be completely oligarch like Bloomberg is. But that being said, it's strategically it's very important the timing. That is because now with Super Tuesday, all the voters who were going to vote for Buttigieg will be split among the other um, nominees. So the important factor is who gonna gain with his voters. He didn't had a lot of base to begin with, but whatever base he had, and those voters gonna be dispersing into various candidates. Personally, I'm hoping that most of them go to Bernie Sanders for obvious reason, and especially if they really care for a candidate who is not a sellout. But considering Pete Buttigieg himself was a huge sellout, I doubt that any of his voters gonna go to Bernie Sanders. So they're gonna bow their head like Pete Buttigieg did, and probably gonna go to Biden. That seems more likely because that's where the party is falling around. And honestly, it's gonna be a good show in some sense if Biden become the front runner from the moderate side and Bernie on the other side, because Biden has so many skeleton in his closets that it's gonna become more and more clear that he's not fit to become president. But anything can happen. This is America after all. So let's see how that's gonna go. And at the same time, Bernie has other problem to tackle. I won't say problem per se because this is democracy, but Elizabeth Warren still being in the race is eating away some of the progressive vote. And to be honest, I don't know how many of her voters would even move to Bernie's camp because they seem to be pretty, I would say, loyal in some sense, I guess. Even though uh, learning from Elizabeth Warren, like loyalty is not in her policies ever, or truth for that matter. But you know, that being said, some of the progressive camp is already divided between Bernie and Elizabeth Warren, who now started accepting super PACs, who now started openly bashing Bernie on his record, which is kind of weird because her last video was really a weak attack on Bernie. She actually said that Bernie has never done anything, in the in the last 30, 40 years, or however long he was in the politics. Whereas technically Bernie had accomplished so many things. Like is known as an amendment king for a reason, because he knows how Congress is kind of function, and plenty of time most of the Congress are on a payroll of their donors. So whenever a bill is passed, the donor force the congressman to sign the bill, or create a laws in their favor. And Bernie being like, some of the minorities who want to do the right thing all the time, surprisingly how. Obviously, he's in the minority, so he won't be able to pass any of those bills. But once the bills is passed, he work with other leaders to kind of amend some of the verbiage within the bills, or change it so that it can benefit the people. And this is all documented. So I don't know what Elizabeth Warren is even implying, and especially given her track record, she has done quite a few good job, like with consumer protection for sure. But also, she voted for a lot of I would say she voted for to expand the military budget, like knowing very well that it's gonna be wasted on different wars and different um, I don't know, regime change strategies, which is not benefiting to the people. So she actually voted for it. So I would take Bernie's uh, record over her any given day. So yeah, in short, it's good. Buttigieg is out. Amy Klobuchar is next to go. I doubt Elizabeth Warren gonna go soon enough, because she want to eat away Bernie's vote, and that seems to be strategy. I won't be surprised if behind the wheel she's been offered VP position in Biden's ticket. So let's see how this game show gonna roll into. And Super Tuesday is definitely the time when all of this gonna play out itself.